Helldivers 2 Game Review. Hello my dear friends, how are you? I hope you are well, in good health and in the happiest of days. Today I have a new video with you, which is a review of the game Helldivers 2. I hope you like it, but before watching the video, subscribe to the channel to receive everything new. Now let us follow the explanation. Looks like these bugs and bots could use some liberties. The first time my team fought a yellow giant, it was a disaster. We fell into a hot zone full of terminates, alien bugs in Helldivers 2, and lost all our extra lives before we even found the thing. We were running for the hills when we bumped into it instead, a huge, massive insect dripping, and spitting, acid, easily towering above anything we'd seen yet. It took everything we had, bullets, airstrikes, orbital cannons, grenades, and more than a little luck, but we somehow managed to bring down the monster and get the entire squad back to our evacuation ship just as our position was about to be overrun. I can't believe we survived this, one of my friends said. Neither do I said. Do you want to go again? Reader, we played for several more hours. That's the Helldivers 2 experience in a nutshell. It's fun, smartly designed, and intense whether you're playing alone, with a group of other random Helldivers, or serving a nice hot cup of liberty across the galaxy with your friends, though like most games of its kind, Helldivers 2 is much better with friends. With diverse quests, a huge catalog of weapons, emotes, armor, and unlocking abilities, and long-running campaigns against insects and automatons, like Terminators, to fight in the name of managed democracy, Helldivers 2 has enough laughs, close-mindedness, and unabashedly pure fun to keep you busy for a while very long. I've spent over 40 hours since release, and I still enjoy traveling to new and exciting places, meeting alien life forms, and killing them for the glory of Super Earth. Screenshots from Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 wastes no time getting you into the action. After the obligatory blurb, to refuse to care is treason, which explains that Super Earth is under attack by robotic robots and legally distinct, but still quite distinct, insects from the starship. Troopers Terminates, which are definitely not Tyranids in Warhammer 40k. I joined basic Helldiver training. Your teacher tells you that he's not easily impressed, before telling you how much he likes the fact that you don't back down. After I mercilessly gas you out during one of the funniest tutorials I've ever played, and tell you how invincible you are, while avoiding the fact that the average lifespan of a Helldiver is about, I don't know, 30 seconds, you earn your head and are given command of a ship space your own super destroyer, you've named him as an elected representative of family values, and are sent to the front lines with your comrades. Once you're out in the galactic war, you're free to head to either the automaton or Terminid front to bring freedom and managed democracy to their occupied planets. Each scientist has multiple missions with multiple objectives, ranging from destroying Terminid eggs to activating local nuclear-armed intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs. Just a normal, glorious day at the office for your average Helldiver. No two missions ever play the same way. The nice thing is that every mission feels different, even if you've completed these same objectives before. This is largely because the maps are distinct and unique, even on the same planet, because of the way the terrain changes. One map may have a lot of water and hills, while another may have dense forests or snow. Furthermore, each mission usually has a few optional objectives to complete, such as blowing up outposts, loading an artillery piece that you can use later, or ending a betrayal broadcast. Combine that with bugs emerging from underground to attack you without warning and robotic dropships delivering reinforcements to the front lines at what always seems like the worst possible time, and no two missions are ever the same. You won't start out with a huge selection of gear for your Helldiver, a number of primary weapon options, a sidearm, and a grenade, but shooting has a satisfyingly heavy weight, especially with the DualSense controller's haptics. Additionally, Helldivers 2 forces you to coordinate to succeed as a group, or play smarter if you're alone. You are racing against time. If your mission timer reaches 0, you will be unable to summon any more tricks, special abilities such as orbital strikes, air strikes from bombers, or additional weapons such as the extremely powerful railgun and equipment such as a mortar turret, and your team has a limited number of weapons. The number of boosts, also known as extra lives, so you get to choose your priorities, manage your resources, and choose where to spend your time. It's always difficult, but what makes Helldivers 2 great are the little touches that ensure you're always thinking about how to manage those resources while hordes of bugs and bots attack your team. Reloading, for example, discards any remaining rounds you have in the clip. Bullets do not immediately transfer to your inventory. Accuracy while shooting means you'll need to crouch, or stand still. If your leg gets damaged, you will not be able to run. And if your arm is injured, you will be less accurate when firing your weapon. If you want to call in reinforcements, special weapons, or resupply, you have to quickly fire off a series of directional inputs on the D-pad, which can be a bit difficult when you're dodging a horde of bugs intent on tearing your Helldiver limb from limb. All of these abilities have cooldown timers, forcing you to be careful about choosing when to deploy them and how to coordinate with your teammates. If you die, you'll need to recover any equipment you dropped because the ability to summon that thing may still be waiting for you on cooldown. It's a risk, yes, but there's a big difference between having your own guard dog rover out laser drone that circles around your Helldiver and taking out any enemies that get close to you and not. Helldivers 2 is generous with its rewards between missions. Helldivers 2 also features generous rewards that you can purchase on the Super Destroyer between missions. Don't have a cool weapon? You'll likely find something fun to use temporarily during the mission, and then you'll be able to purchase a better weapon of your own after a few rounds. One of my favorites is the antimatter rifle, a giant anti-armor gadget that lets you take on huge bile-spewing insects without getting anywhere near them, which is handy because they can kill you with a single volley of acid if you do. Then there's the railgun, every Helldiver's best friend. All you have to do is direct it towards a problem, and the problem becomes a puddle at your feet. In addition to the weapons scattered throughout the level, there are sometimes special events that give each Helldiver a specific trick for a limited time. Whether you unlock them or not, you can't keep any weapons you find on the map once the mission is over, but finding them in missions or using them during those special events allows you to try them out before unlocking them for good using the in-game currency you earn from completing objectives, which is a nice touch. Speaking of unlocking things, Helldivers 2 has a lot of goodies to earn. Yes, there's a paid battle pass that has a lot of weapons and armor, but there's also a free pass that has more stuff than the paid one, and you can also unlock gear the old-fashioned way by simply completing quests. So, even though there are microtransactions, sure, so far I've never felt like I was missing anything important by not being near them. The free battle pass alone gives you almost enough super credits, the paid currency in Helldivers 2, to upgrade to the paid version, and you can find more during missions if you explore enough. Though, unfortunately, unlike other resources you can find on them in the boxes, super credits seem to only go to the one person who picks them up. The rest of the free battle pass is nothing to sneeze at either. In addition to containing more than the paid card, it also contains what may be the best weapon in Helldivers 2, the Breaker, a fully automatic rifle that shreds Terminids and automatons alike. That's not to say the premium battle pass doesn't have cool exclusives. I love the Explosive Liberator, a high-powered version of the basic Liberator assault rifle, but you don't need them to succeed. I'm deep into Helldivers 2's progression system at this point, and I'm still looking forward to unlocking new things, which is pretty rare in the modern, microtransaction-filled world. Many unlocks can make a huge difference in gameplay. It's also worth noting that battle passes only offer weapons, armor, emotes, cloaks, cosmetic emblems, and buffs, permanent upgrades that affect your entire team when equipped. All cheats in the game can only be purchased with the in-game currency you earn by completing mission objectives. After you meet the minimum requirement to purchase it, purchasing the trick once will make it yours forever. The same goes for any ship upgrades you get for collecting samples scattered across missions. Better yet, a lot of these unlocks can make a huge difference in gameplay. One of the first things you gain is the ability to summon a stationary turret that automatically explodes. I found out the hard way that friendly fire is something that can kill you if you stand in front of it, which makes for some really funny moments, but is a legitimate game changer when you have to fend off a swarm of bugs or defend your extraction zone. I've since upgraded to Mortar Sentry, which I never leave the elected representative of family values AA without. Helldivers 2's progression system remains impressive even at higher levels. You can unlock every trick currently available at level 20, which took me about 30 hours to get to. Progress definitely slowed as I got closer to that point, but the levels still seem to come when I wanted them to, especially when playing on higher difficulties. Now I possess the mighty railgun, and all the enemies of Super Earth tremble before me. If there's a downside to this, it's that there are a lot of things to unlock, making it difficult to decide what to get first. Should you save up for an air raid, anti-materiel rifle, or portable supply pack? Some, like Eagle Airstrike or Mortar Sentry, are noticeably better than others, but again, none of these options are Battle Pass items, so it's not as if they're trying to trick you into spending money on something you don't know whether you'll do or not. Once, you can only get these by playing. This may seem like faint praise, but in an age where so many games try to scam us for absolutely everything, the fact that Helldivers 2 doesn't force you to deal with its battle pass to make your experience better seems great. There's a lot of enemy variety, from acid bugs to chainsaw robots. And you'll need every resourcefulness and ounce of teamwork you can muster to defeat Super Earth's enemies, as there are a lot of diverse enemies in Helldivers 2. Sure, there are the standard issue little bugs, but there are also larger ones that will spit acid at you, and armored bugs that will attack you, and insects that can disappear or jump great distances, and the aforementioned Bile Titan. And that's just insects. I didn't even get to the robots with chainsaws for hands, or the Hulks with heavy armor, or their honest-to-goodness battle tanks that will chase you down as you run around Vietnam that doesn't belong in space at all. Planet-themed. All that's missing is the Valkyrie's Ride and the Lucky Sun. Each encounter kept me on my toes, partly because each mission comes with a mod that increases the spread of certain enemy types. Helldivers 2 forces you to plan a strategy, adapt to what's happening in the moment, coordinate with your teammates, and think quickly when things inevitably go wrong. It's as fun to pull off an improbable come-from-behind victory as it is to accidentally blow up your friend with an airstrike. If Helldivers 2 has any caveat, it's that you should play with friends to get the best experience possible. Yes, you can play alone, but none of the difficulty levels scale to the total number of players. So you'll only have a chance at the bottom third or so of the 9 difficulty modes on your own, which will slow down your progress. As always, the quality of playing with random people in any online game is kind of sloppy. When playing with friends, Helldivers 2 sings. However, it also experienced some performance issues around launch, with matchmaking being difficult at best, post-match rewards not always being delivered, Helldivers randomly disconnecting from games, and difficulty joining friends. In some games, my frame rate looked like a PowerPoint presentation. My Helldiver even stopped running once he's just starting to fly across the map. Funny? Sure, but it's not a good way to fight Super Earth enemies. Fortunately, these issues have become more rare as developer Arrowhead has increased server capacity and released patches, so I haven't encountered a large number of issues recently, but they're not 100% resolved yet. But the thing about Helldivers 2 is how much fun it is regardless. The greatest compliment I can give a game is when I want to keep playing it after I've finished the review, and I know I'll be playing Helldivers 2 for a long time. I love how you deliver little bits of knowledge through dialogue and the funny trailers for Super Destroyer. Did you know that insects were bred for fuel before they could escape? And that's why they attack Super Earth? Or were the automatons previously enslaved? I mean, for the love of God, members of the Ultra Earth Army literally wear capes. Leaving a bad review for military equipment is treason. We may be the bad guys. At the end of the video, I thank you for watching and I hope you liked it, and see you in a good video.